Hello, 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 hello? Hello. Okay, guys, I am back from my little thing at 5 p.m. To, like, later. It was originally supposed to be 6 p.m., but, like, I did a bunch of other things, too, so... It's just mainly because, well, nothing happened, and I thought something was gonna happen, but it didn't. And to be honest, I am a little less confident that there will be severe storms developing, like strong tornadoes or anything like that, but... I am watching these things kind of develop in, like, western Minnesota a little bit. I'm wondering. I'm just going to put it at that. I'm wondering if something will develop. Not like I'm sure something will develop or I'm sure something won't develop. I'm just wondering. I'm really confused right now, to be completely honest with you guys. I'm really confused if this is going to not really work out as an event. It probably won't, but I'm still looking at it. I'm still looking at it. And I feel like it's just better if I'm here just to cover it than not be here and miss everything. So, I am back a little late, but I am back. And I won't have any interruptions this time around. I can go as late as I want. So, anyways, let me just change these settings because I always forget to change these settings while I'm talking. But, you know, you get the point. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay, I got it. Alright, there you go. So let's change over to this scene. I'm pretty sure this isn't accurate anymore. I did this a couple of minutes ago, the severe thunderstorm warnings that are active. Why isn't this not orange? Wait, what is going on? Sorry, it's just not the same size. Okay, that works. Wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, that works. Alright, so... How many severe thunderstorm warnings do we have active? Oh, actually, I am right, somehow. We still have 13 severe thunderstorm warnings active, both in the US and Canada. So, I am right with that, but, to be honest, none of these severe thunderstorm warnings are in the right area, if you would call it that. They're not in the main area that we were expecting severe thunderstorms to be today. One of them is in the 2% for the tornado risks, right here near Hardington, Nebraska, but that's not the main risk, because we're comparing that to a 10 sig 1. And over here, we do have some storms in Texas. I think one of them was just expired, so that might have... actually not. Wait, yeah. I think some new severe thunderstorm warnings have popped up. We do have some in Georgia, North Carolina, and sometimes South Carolina, but they're not really doing much, and we did have a marginal risk down there. That's mainly what it's come from. And where are these other... Where's this other one coming from? Wait, what? Oh, okay. Both of these are in Georgia. There's two in Georgia. So, that's what I was missing. We have no severe thunderstorm warnings in our main risk. But, there's a big but to this. There is still a good environment, and I'm watching these storms as they slowly develop near Wadena, Minnesota. There is a few attempts at initiation trying to go off. Of course, they're all very close to each other. So, that's what kind of setting me off, because none of these are actually, like, very isolated supercells, or, well, none of them are supercells to begin with, but are going to become isolated supercells. But we could still see some increase in tornadic activity with these storms that are trying to break through the cap in this region. I think the main reason why we haven't seen much is probably due to the cap. I do think there is a cap in place. Let me just make sure on that. I'm not entirely sure, but I would assume so. I mean, that's usually what causes this, because, of course, it's not over-clustering this time. This time, just the storms aren't forming. So, let me look over here. Let me look at our cap through the Cape. Maybe there's too much Cape? I'm wondering. This is weird, because there is no cap in place, but I think it's the forcing, then. Let me see this. The forcing is a bit weird. It's like moving in the opposite direction. It is a little bit of forcing. I always say it moves in the opposite direction. I don't know if that's even possible. It is moving a little bit, but I think the forcing is the main problem. We're not seeing as much forcing as expected in this region, probably because the low hasn't fully moved into this region yet. Also, the SRH isn't amazing or anything like that. It's amazing not really amazing, but, like, it's good up here in northern North Dakota, and that's where we're mainly seeing our most severe weather. Supercell composite is good. Significant tornado parameter is also good, but it's kind of right on the edge of that capped environment. So we still do have a good environment in place. It's not the best environment, not as good as we were expecting, but I'm wondering if this storm right here, just east of Fargo, is going to do anything. Because, like, storms like it too. Because this is our open warm sector. This is where storms would develop. But we're unsure if they're just gonna develop. I feel like we can't just call it quits and say they're not gonna develop because they haven't developed yet when they were expected to. I don't think we should call it quits yet. I know usually that means that you can say it then, because usually they're supposed to fire early compared to when they were expected. However, I do feel like this might be one of those scenarios where we just gotta wait a little bit, and something could develop. However, I'm not entirely sure. There could just be nothing that happens today. I'm not entirely sure. So, we're just going to look out for the severe weather as we go, and see if anything starts to develop. So, that's our main goal here. We're just gonna wait and see if anything develops. Because we do have this one storm near Savin, Minnesota, that has just developed, and I'm unsure if that is going to do anything. It's moving to the northeast right now. It's just barely inside the tornado watch, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's why I'm here covering this, so that's why I'm here. But anyways, let's see if we can get a camera on that storm. I do want to see some good structure with it. I mean, it's not going to have the greatest structure. It's just going to be like a cumulonimbus cloud. But that's good enough for me, honestly. That's good enough for me, so let's watch this. Where is this? Where is this storm? Okay, it's near Glendon. So, let me see where Glendon is. Wherever Glendon is. I don't know where. Oh, Glendon's along this. Okay, there. Let's see. Where's this heading? This is looking south. There is a storm south of here. I think this is right. No, it's actually north now. This is looking. One of these cameras are looking west. Or east. I meant east. Yeah, east. Southwest. This is looking east. Should be looking east. I don't know why they're not looking east. Okay. This might show some. Okay, well, you can't see much. I thought we would see much more of the storm, but we can't really, especially since it's kind of weakened on the last scan. So maybe I am wrong. Maybe nothing will develop today. I don't know. But also, we just can't really see it that well from this camera. So I think that's the main problem. We also do have a couple of storms developing in South Dakota. It's like a weird updraft thingy near Lake City. I have no idea what's going on there. That does not look like a storm, but, like, it could be. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Of course, we do have our actual severe thunderstorm warning over here in Nebraska, which has some decent hail on it. It might have some tornado risk in the future, but we're not really expecting too much with it. There is an outflow boundary nearby, so it might connect to that, and then we'll see something, but not seeing too much right now near Verdigray and Center. But that is a severe thunderstorm warning. We also did just get a special weather statement in western North Dakota. I believe our environment there is completely done for. We're not really seeing much of an environment there because it was already taken up by many storms. But, I mean, this will have a severe threat. It will have a severe threat, just not really much more, it seems. We also do have the storm near Devil's Lake, which is trying to develop something. That is some strong winds and maybe potentially some rotation, but it's a little hard to tell, especially with how far away this radar is, but I don't know. It doesn't look like anything crazy like I've been saying like the past 20 hours, but it could be something in the future, so just watch out for that. Yeah, it looks like whatever this is weakening, but I feel like we're not done, even if that is weakening, because that shows that's like the closest attempt we've ever gotten. And we also have another attempt firing over here near Tower City. So if we keep getting these attempts, I think eventually we're going to have one storm that pokes through, manages to break through all of the deteriorating factors and maybe produce something, but listen, we don't want stuff to happen. I just want to make this clear. We don't want stuff to happen. We want them to bust. We want them to not do anything today. It's a question on whether they do something today or not. I just feel that it's gonna be kind of hard that doesn't happen. That like nothing happens, but I mean it could, and I kind of want that to happen, of course, because then nobody would get hurt or anything. But we'll see. I was just making sure that was a new water. Because I always put water bottles all around my house, and I don't know why. We do also have a severe thunderstorm watch over here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, too. I am watching these storms. They have no tornado risk, I'm pretty sure, but they do have some hail risk and mostly a wind risk. As this heads towards lands, it probably will have like 50-mile-per-hour winds, 40-mile-per-hour winds. I guessed 50 miles per hour. But that'll approach towards lands. Of course, we did have a 1 tornado warning in Bismarck earlier. I don't think that produced, but, you know, it was a tornado warning, so I guess that was something. I just hope everyone's okay, you know. Alright, so we're waiting a newest scan on the Grand Forks radar. Do have a couple of storms near Minneapolis that are trying to develop, but they're kind of barely into the risk. Here you can see one near Onamia. There's a couple near Onamia that are in the SIG 1 risk, so they might do something, but they're a little bit too far out. Alright, it looks like the storm, like, strengthened the tiniest bit, but I really can't. We're just watching, like, tiny little storms right now. We're not really watching anything big, so I can't really make assumptions. This storm near Glendon... What is going on? Oh, it's just a reminder. That scared me. I don't know why. Yeah, the storm near Glendon fell apart, so... Let's look at that storm in central North Dakota. That's not really central, but... Sorry about that. It's just my throat's a little sore. Castleton? Okay. Oh, I like that. Castleton and Cass County. Okay. You can kind of see it. Wait, where is it? It would be to the west, so let's see west. Why can't you look west? Is there nothing there? What? Well, no. Like, you can look west, but you can't see anything from there. Here, this might... Let's look south. Okay, this is an okay view. You can see there's some clouds here. I know that's not a lot, but, I mean... It does look a little interesting. It looks like there is a storm there. It's not completely... Maybe that's the reason. Maybe there hasn't been enough clearing today, which is possible. There hasn't been enough clearing. Let me look out ahead in the storm and see if there is clearing, because that might determine. Yeah, there really isn't that much clearing out ahead of the storm, so the temperature dew point spread might not be as much as we thought it would be. I gotta take a sounding out here. Let me take a sounding out here. Well, how do we... Okay, here. I mean, the temperature dew point spread is actually not that bad. I'm surprised. And this does look like a tornado type thing. Huh. It's weird. It's weird. This is a weird environment. I will say that. Alright, well, let's go back to our camera that was looking at the storm directly. This is what we're seeing. This is actually 11 minutes old. I don't know why these take forever to update, but this is looking at the storm 11 minutes ago. It was even tinier back then, and I think it's weakening. It might be weakening again, actually. But you know, I mean, it seems like that's gonna happen. It seems that's what's gonna happen today. We do have one storm that's actually trying to develop something in Veblen, South Dakota. It's gonna cross the border into North Dakota soon. It doesn't have any rotation or anything. It's a very tiny storm right now, but it does have some hail, like 0.05 in diameter or something. 0.05 inches in diameter. I don't know. I don't even know if that exists, but we'll see what that storm does in the future. Once again, guys, if you have any questions, just make sure to chat or comment wherever. Just make sure that you just ask in question form, because I'm pretty sure you're going to be talking to me, because there's not really a lot of, like, if it's not me, just at someone else, just besides me. If your question is just in question form and not added to anybody, I'm just going to assume it's to me, so... Huh. Okay, those storms already existed. Never mind. We do, of course, have some storms that are severe warned in Canada. It does always seem like the risk's better in Canada. But, well, not better, but, like, you know, like, more intense in Canada. You can see it here in southern Manitoba. There's a couple of storms there. There's also one storm, the furthest north point of the contiguous U.S. I don't know why I had to say that. It's just, yeah. It's right near Angle Inlet, so. Okay, well, this isn't the latest scan. Well, it is the latest scan, but it's not that recent. It's 2 minutes ago. Is this trying to redevelop? Well, it's like another storm out of the same energy from the storm, so... That exists in Puerto... What? There's heat warnings in Puerto Rico? Oh, there is one. Yeah, what? How is it gonna be 111 degrees in a tropical climate? Whatever. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a heat warning, but, like, it's a different criteria for you guys. I don't know. I'm unsure. Looking back at our severe thunderstorm warning in Nebraska, you can see this storm is starting to become more linear, but that's expected because this was in the severe thunderstorm watch, not really the 20-day watch. So that's becoming more linear as time goes on. We do have another storm that just fired near Watertown, South Dakota. Trying to showcase a little bit of an updraft, you can see there. Yes, I will talk about that in my next video, the heat. I will talk about the heat in my next video, so just give it a moment. It's going to be really hot here, too. It's going to get up to 101 degrees over here in New Jersey, so definitely going to be hot in a lot of places. Near Windmere, there's a little something. That isn't a 10-sig one. This storm is dying out. Near Tower City, it's dying out. So that's good news. Glendon. It's trying again, but it really hasn't done much, so I doubt it's gonna do anything now. I don't know, my senses aren't really tingling as much. I'm starting to think that it won't really do much today, this risk. But we're still watching. We'll still continue to be here just in case, of course. You have some severe thunderstorm warnings over here in northern Alberta. Not northern, but like central Alberta. You can see them there. Also, I have a special weather statement all the way here in Colville, Washington State. And that translates to a severe thunderstorm warning in Canada. Same storms. Still watching. I mean, this storm near Windmere definitely is trying. I think that's the same scan, though. And then... oh, wait, maybe this isn't. Glendon is also kind of trying. You can see a little bit of orange there now. So that's the closest we've ever gotten to an actual storm, it seems. I mean, there's a lot of storms developing over here, too, near Wadena and Brainerd. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. This is weird. But storms are developing. We'll see how much they develop, but alas. I don't know why I'm so itchy today. Okay, well, let me look back at the camera just to see if there's anything happening. Oh, we're on. Is this a new scan? No. How do you get it? It's the same thing. Wow, okay. I guess it takes a while to develop, I don't know. Where are we looking? Over here, I guess. Let's look. West. You can't really see a storm there. I know there is a storm there, but even though it's weird, east actually shows... is that sunlight? It could be sunlight, but it's kind of hard to tell. It doesn't look like clear skies, so that might be a storm. Alright, latest scan on this storm near Windmere. It is developing. You can see it's getting a little bit of convection together. So, it might do something. You can also see the storm near Glendon. It's kind of weakening again. It's weird. It's like spreading out. So that might do something. I don't know. But you could see a bunch of storms. Oh, and also down here in South Dakota near Watertown, there's a storm developing. This looks like it could become a little more supercellular, but it looks like just mainly an updraft right now. It's going to enter into the tornado watch soon. I don't know. It seems like a few storms are developing at least. I mean, at least some. I don't know. It's never mind. Let me just check something real quickly. New scan. Glendon is trying to redevelop, but it's not really doing well. But this storm near Windmere. You can see it. This definitely has some potential. It's heading right towards Fargo, too. I mean, all of these storms have potential, but this might have the greatest... What am I doing? This might have the greatest potential out of them all. But you can see our warm sector is definitely cooking up some storms, but they're not really great storms right now. Like grand storms. I don't know what I'm saying today. I don't know what I'm saying. But whatever. And this is almost trying to become like a little line type thing. But right now, we do have a little storm near Windmere. It's not severe warned or anything, but we're watching to see if there's any development with it to a severe thunderstorm warning. We did just get an extension to our severe thunderstorm warning in Nebraska. This storm is starting to merge into like a line type feature, but it's still kind of supercellular. But it's not going to produce a tornado or anything like that, most likely. You can see there's like two different storm areas. There's one here near the Santee Indian Reservation, then over here near Verdigre. So two areas there. Okay, we have 14 now. So oh. Okay. There is a tornado possible on one of these storms now in North Dakota still. It's near Cando. I don't fully get why. I kind of see it. Oh. Okay, that's why. Okay, I kind of see it. I was just unsure for a second. It looked a little weird. But, yes, we do have a tornado warning now near Rolla, east of Rolla, North Dakota. This is right by the border. It's near Sarles. So it's going to enter into the border with Canada soon. But right now, this is a tornado warning, so make sure you're in your safe spot if you live in Sarles, North Dakota, and any areas that are nearby Hanna, North Dakota, not Hanna, North Dakota itself, though. So if you live in Sarles and Calvin, North Dakota, both in Towner and Cavalier counties, make sure that you're in your safe spot. The safe spot is the most interior room of a sturdy shelter. It can't be a mobile home, so if you live in a mobile home, make sure to evacuate it immediately and head to a sturdier shelter that's most interior room. Preferably a basement, but if it isn't a basement, a bathroom where you have to go in the bathtub and basically put a hard surface on its exterior, a soft surface on its interior towards you, on top of you, such as a mattress. You also gotta make sure that you are heading to a room where if you were to walk through walls, you would never end up outside through any of the walls. If you were to walk through the wall, any of the walls, and end up outside, then you would have to move to a different room where you couldn't end up outside if you walked through the walls and ended up in other rooms instead. So yeah, that's what you gotta do. Just make sure you're okay in this situation. Let me just get this. So one tornado warning active in northern North Dakota right now. So yeah, this one tornado warning in North Dakota. Make sure you are entering your safe spot if you live in this region, because this could be a dangerous storm. Windermere still developing. Not anything crazy right now, but you can see it's trying to develop something. And over here near Glendon, there's also a storm trying to develop too. So we do have some storms in the risk area. Not anything crazy, but definitely continue to watch them, because they could develop something. This tornado warning is in the tornado watch. That lasts until 10 p.m. local time. This is more of a QLCS type setup here, but you can see this rotation is strengthening. There is strengthening rotation over here. It is approaching towards Sarles. It might make a direct beeline for Sarles, actually. So this might actually make it directly through Sarles. So definitely be in your safe spot if you live in Sarles. This could be potentially a tornado. It doesn't look like it's on the ground yet, but definitely could be very soon. So definitely be in your safe spot if you live there. There is a noticeable amount of rotation on this to where the NWS in the local area has issued a tornado warning. This is looking a little more supercellular as time passes. I'm not fully convinced yet, but this definitely is looking a little more interesting. It's got that shape to it, so I'm wondering if Walcott will get a severe thunderstorm warning soon. I don't think so yet. It's still a very tiny storm, but it definitely could have some severe thunderstorm potential as a supercell. Let's change this. It does look like this tornado warning storm has weakened slightly. You can still see some rotation here. It is probably directly over not directly over Sarles, but it's definitely approaching it. You can see it might miss a little bit south of downtown. Currently, it is near, the area of rotation is near 76th Avenue Northeast and 103rd Street 103rd Street Northeast. And it is approaching towards 78th Avenue Northeast, which would head towards Sarles. So, definitely be in your safe spot if you live in Sarles, as well as Calvin. Well, not Calvin anymore, actually. This area to Calvin has been allowed to get out of the tornado warning now. So, they are no longer within a tornado warning, so you no longer have to be in your safe spot if you live in Calvin. But in Sarles, it is different, because there is an area of rotation continuing to approach just south of you. So, definitely make sure to take shelter, just in case if it makes any weird motion. Still watching a storm southwest of Fargo. This does look a little bit outflow dominant right now, but that makes sense because it just developed, so it hasn't really created much of an outflow boundary yet. We also do have this storm now near Felton, Minnesota, that is continuing to develop. It has more of a hail core at the moment, so these are definitely developing storms at the moment. We also do have our storm near Watertown. That definitely could be severe warned at any moment because of the hail it likely has because of that. It's very compact of a storm, very condensed, It's not really very wide in stature. It's mostly tall from north to south. But you can see some hail in Marvin still, so I would just be alert with that. Maybe head indoors if that's possible. So we have one tornado warning in the tornado watch that we currently have. Let me just see if there's any cameras up there. I don't think so. It would make no sense. There's one nearby, actually. Let me look if it's looking. Okay, you can see it a little bit, but it's not really that easy of a view. You can see there is a storm there, north of Calvin, along North Dakota Route 20, I think that says. Near the this camera's near the junction between North Dakota Route 5 and North Dakota Route 20, so just be aware of that. This storm is pretty nearby to that area, but not quite, because it's more closer to Sarles. And it is approaching State Highway 20, actually, so be aware along State Highway 20 if you are driving there, up to the Provincial Trunk Highway 34 in Canada, in Manitoba. So we do have that tornado warning in effect. Still have a couple of other storms trying to fire southern North Dakota into western Minnesota. You can see this little cluster of storms over here. These storms aren't really strengthening anymore, but they're definitely still trying to get their act together, especially this one near Felton. So I would still be aware if you live in Felton. You could get some hail. I wouldn't be indoors yet because it's not really that much of a concern, but I would still be thinking about heading inside soon. And of course, you can head inside if you want to, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning over here, approaching towards Yankton, South Dakota. Still a storm with some hail. That's about it. And maybe some winds too, 60-mile-per-hour winds. There is some high winds that are a potential with this severe thunderstorm watch, so make sure that you're on alert for high winds. Make sure to keep those weather alerts on, just in case. We do now have a severe thunderstorm warning for that hailstorm that was near Marvin, South Dakota. So that's heading into Minnesota soon. We have 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds with the storm. It is quickly heading into the Beardsley area near Graceville as well in Minnesota. So make sure that you are heading indoors now if you live in that region and staying away from those windows and doors. We do now have a new mesoscale discussion for our main area. So this is definitely an interesting thing to note. There might be a tornado watch issued with this. There is a couple of strong tornadoes possible between 9 and 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. A couple of strong tornadoes. So definitely be aware in that area that you could get some strong tornadoes. Be high on alert for any warnings that are issued today, as there is the potential for a tornado watch in your region. There definitely is some cells developing here. You can see what they're saying is very moist boundary layer air, including mid-70s surface dew points. It's contributing to extreme potential instability beneath steep lapse rates associated with a plume of very warm, elevated mixed layer air. it does mention why convection has been slowed in development. It's mainly due to the subsidence aloft, and I don't know exactly what that is. Combination of substances aloft and inhibition associated with the elevated mix layer. So I think that has to do with there's not a lot of mixing between the layers, so that might indicate lapse rates. There might have been a lack of lapse rates in this region. So we're continuing to watch here. We're seeing if anything develops, and there will be a tornado watch issue soon. So definitely an increase there in our potential. Sorry about the dog in the background. I don't know if you can hear him. You can see the storm definitely is getting hair. There's no way I just said hair instead of hail. This storm is definitely getting hail near Walcott, or Walcott, whatever it's pronounced, and Barry, as well as Kindred is going to get into that hail soon. Hail. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to the storm and potentially getting ready to go indoors if you are outside. We still have a tornado warning in effect right here near the Canadian border. Still exists. It's not done yet. It's a little hard to tell what's going on with this, but it is right over Sarles right now. So, Sarles, you better be in your safe spot, because this storm is definitely impacting you. I'm still watching for storms over here, too. Did they just, like, reissue this? Or, I don't know. It looked like they did, but I think that's just my radar app working weird. So we still have our storms. Waiting for them to develop some more. We do have an increase in the amount of hail that's probably in the storm between Barry, Walcott, and Kindred. So definitely be aware of that. This is entering into the Cass County area. It's approaching Cass County from whatever this county is. I forgot the name of it. Let me just look it up. Dakota County map. It's approaching in from Richland County. Where's that Richland County? Wait. Yeah, that is Richland County. So Richland County into Cass County. Those regions. I expect there will be some polygon issued soon. Probably looking like this, but not quite yet, because it still hasn't gotten the biggest hail possible yet. For a severe thunderstorm warning. So be aware, folks. There is a strong tornado threat still remaining with these storms in Minnesota. So be aware. You can see this is already trying to do something. You can see a little bit of a tail with it, but it's not really succeeding yet because it's such a small storm, so I wouldn't expect much yet. Still mainly watching our storms down here, too. We did just get our newest scan. I mean, you can see this storm is a little bit weird. It's kind of starting to weaken, but it still could try to pull something, so just continue watching it near Felton. Definitely could produce some strong winds in the future. You can see the storm near Corona, South Dakota, also producing some large hail, so continue to be indoors for that. We still do have our tornado warning right by the Canadian border, just north of Sarles now, as approaches 108th Street northeast, the junction between 108th Street northeast and State Highway 20. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, make sure to comment. Just so I can get more information about who my audience is. And also learn more information in the process. You need it, especially in risks like these. So we still have storms in this region surrounding Fargo. Fargo will eventually get their storm, but not quite yet. Still gotta wait for that. But Fargo will get their storm, it seems. This region. You can also see a bunch of storms developing east of that area. North of St. Cloud, Brainerd, and Staples. A lot of storms there. So quite a few storms still exist. You can see this is getting some big hail. You can definitely tell because of the reflectivity values starting to reach up into the 70s. 71 dBz. So that probably correlates to around a little more than an inch in diameter, I would say. So definitely some increase in potential for hail there. We still have a tornado warning over here that will soon enter Canada. They did just see the Canadian tornado warning over here in Manitoba. So, the Canadian portion of this tornado warning is now issued for Snowflake, Clearwater, Crystal City, Kalida, and up to Darlingford. All those areas in Manitoba need to be aware of this developing tornado. But it's not really developing, but, well, it could be imminent. That's for sure. We do have a big severe thunderstorm warning now in Canada, just north of International Falls, in Fort Frances, Emo, where else? Rainy River, almost up towards Quetico Provincial Park, and almost into Atikokan. So all those regions, you need to be aware in Ontario, there is some storms developing into your region. But our tornado warning here is going to get expired soon. You can see it's mostly out of the risk at this point. We're mostly out of the woods here in the United States. But Canada is not mostly out of the woods. It's heading towards the Snowflake region. Oh, man. Is that rotation? The storm near Corona is trying to rotate. I wouldn't be surprised if this starts to get its act together, because this storm near Corona is almost in the tornado watch and just starting to rotate a little bit. So definitely watch this storm as it heads towards Foster in Minnesota. And right across the river in Hartford Beach, South Dakota Park, Linden Beach, and Corona in South Dakota. Also towards Wilmot. That's also another area that needs to watch out. This could be a developing tornado. We're just unsure at the moment. There is no tornado warning, so don't worry too much yet. But definitely be aware that there could be a potential tornado heading towards you. Not yet, but possibly in the future, because there is some rotation there. You can see the storm is definitely trying to develop. Here's where its hook is. It looks like this is where the hook is, but I don't think so. I think that's just another piece of convection trying to merge into it. It's always kind of been there, so it's trying to merge into it in Corona. So definitely watch that storm as it develops. Currently, I have 2 tornado warnings active, so let me change that because I'm counting the Canadian one. Oh, was I not on the... So we have our potential area of rotation over here. It has weakened a little bit on the latest scan, seemingly. It's still there, but it's not really moving much, so I'm unsure if that's contamination. It doesn't look like contamination to me. That looks like actual rotation. But it could be contamination still because of the hail. It could be partially contaminated and partially real. So just be aware, Corona, there could be some sort of tornadic circulation trying to develop over you. But it definitely wouldn't develop over you, the tornado, if it does form. Because it's definitely going to take a bit. It's not there yet. Alright, so we no longer have a tornado warning in the United States, so let me bring this back down to 1. This definitely is trying to develop near Corona. There is some greens now appearing on radar, so this is trying to prove itself in terms of rotation. You can see it's a little bit closer to the hook at this point. So this might not just be the hail, this might actually be some sort of tornadic circulation. But we're unsure yet. There's no tornado possible tag yet, so don't approach your safe spot yet, but because mostly we're unsure. But maybe you could just in case. Never hurts. A lot of storms over here. It does seem like this one approaching Fargo has weakened a little bit. At least compared to these other storms, which are still strengthening. It doesn't seem stronger than them. But these storms could definitely do something still. I'm not putting that out of the possibility. And we're still watching this one near Ada, which is looking a little interesting. Still have some storms near Bismarck, too, so they'll be getting a second round, but not anything crazy. We do have this storm near Amadon in North Dakota. That's a special weather statement right now as it approaches New England in North Dakota. So watch out over there. There is potentially a reason to go indoors for there. It does look like the latest scan, the rotation kind of weakened a little bit. So, it's kind of coming and going. It's a little bit of rotation, but I wouldn't get too hyped up over it. It's not anything insane. It's definitely not anything insane. It's just a rotating supercell right now. It's not like it's going to drop a tornado at any moment. It probably has a wall cloud under it, and that's it. It might not even. We'll see. Corona. Definitely still be indoors, though. Let's look at South Dakota. It's just looking south. Where are we? Okay, we're a little closer here. Kona's over there, so we're like out here. Where's east? Oh, wow, you can see the storm from over there. You can see a bunch of those cumulonimbus clouds, actually. Okay, well, there's the newest frame. So, it was just updated. But this is from, like, 20 minutes ago, so that's something to note. Okay, well, this updated a little bit. Weird. I don't know why. It's, like, in a series. What direction is this looking? Okay, camera looking east. So the camera looking east. This is what we can see. This is the latest frame that we had. Let me just make sure. This is the latest frame, but like 14 seconds. By like 14 seconds. This is looking generally east. You can see a storm off in the distance. That's what we're seeing in Wilmot, South Dakota, where severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. Yeah, I mean, the rotation was there, but it's kind of gone now, so we'll see if that continues. Definitely a weakening rotation signature, but not a weakening storm, so still be aware of that. And though this storm could be weakening, but it's kind of hard to tell. It still has some decent hail, so I wouldn't say it's weakening yet. But right near Borup, there still is a storm heading towards your north and east. Alright, guys, I'm going to take a short break before things get crazy. I'll be right back. Let me just delete all this. Wait, I'm going to do that. Sorry, guys. I'll leave now. Wait, what am I doing? Alright, I'm back. Still watching these storms in Minnesota. No tornado warnings yet, and they did actually allow that severe thunderstorm warning in near Ortonville to expire. So that's good news for Graceville, Foster, Clinton, and Beardsley. It does seem like the hail core has kind of gone away with it. But there might still be strong winds in this, so I wouldn't let your guard down yet. This could get another severe thunderstorm warning in the future. It does not have any rotation like it did before. I mean, it barely had any rotation at that, so... You can see the storm near Walcott is still trying to develop. It's not the same storm that went through Fargo, but still is a storm. So continue to watch that as it develops. A little bit of an inflow on it. Just a little bit. Still expecting strong tornadoes to develop today. So, you're continuing to watch as these storms develop. A lot of storms still here. Even up towards Duluth, there's still a lot of storms. Definitely storms all over still. They're trying to develop as much as they can. The main storm right now is over here south of Fargo, I would say. That's the main storm in the risk area, I would say. But there is also, of course, a severe thunderstorm warning that is tornado possible in Munich, North Dakota now. So that region also needs to be alert. We do also have a few severe thunderstorm warnings in Texas. Might cause some downburst winds. One in eastern Tennessee, too. But yeah. We did just get our new tornado watch for these areas. You can see it here. This is generally what it would look like. Right over here. Still trying to trace it out. Just give me a second. Heads all the way to Wisconsin. Not into Wisconsin, but to. So that's generally what a watch outline is. Be alert if you're in the circled area. Is that is now a concern for you guys. Tornadoes. Potentially strong. We do have now a severe thunderstorm warning for Fargo. So Fargo, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning now. This storm near Walcott and Christine is now approaching towards the Fargo region. More specifically towards Moorhead, which is the suburb of Fargo on the Minnesota side. What am I saying? Minnesota side. So be aware in that area. Prepare accordingly. Go inside and head away from those doors and windows. That is what is necessary to do. Let's look back at our cameras. Let's look in North Dakota again, near the Fargo storm. You can see it's a little rainy over there where the tornado warning was. Looking over here near Christina. Let's look north. You can see quite a bit of a storm over there. Definitely looks like a severe thunderstorm warning. Doesn't have a base or anything that you can tell of, but Definitely changes the scenery quite a bit. Definitely surely does. Currently have one tornado warning active. That's in Canada. And several different severe thunderstorm warnings. We have 6 active. Besides the other 6 active in Canada. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Fargo. So we'll see how that storm develops as it moves on. We might have gotten our new SPC outlook, so let's look at it. Let's see if there's any changes, because we still have storms developing, but see if there is any changes. Oh man, we did. And look at how much that risk has expanded. Jeez, we got a huge enhanced risk now. All the way from Grand Forks, North Dakota, into Nebraska. That's mostly probably due to the wind, the southern part of it, but I imagine the tornado risk has expanded a bit too. It actually hasn't, which makes sense. It's mostly the wind that it's expanded. So now we have an enhanced driven wind risk too. We do have a wind risk that is driving the enhanced risk. And that goes from over here near Manaman, Minnesota, all the way down to like the Fremont area of Nebraska. So now wind is another risk there, but we still have our 10% Sig 1 tornado risk in Fargo, Grand Forks, Moorhead, West Fargo, and Fergus Falls. But definitely more of an expansive enhanced risk there. Of course, we have a risk tomorrow too. Looking back at our North Dakota camera, you can see quite a bit of change in scenery there. Of course, that was 16 minutes ago, so let's see if we can get another scan. I guess we have to look at another one. Let me try this again. Huh? I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't work. Maybe I have to go to another tab and click on something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It probably takes a little longer than what I expected to update. But we still have a severe thunderstorm warning heading towards the Fargo area. Heading towards Glendon, too. We still, of course, have our storm near Ada. It's looking less supercellular as time goes on. Looking a little bit more like just a storm. But it's still trying to develop itself, produce a hail core, so we'll see what happens with it as it moves towards the north, towards Red Lake Falls, and eventually Thief River Falls. We do still have our storm near Ortonville. Definitely not as much hail as before, but still a developing system. It did have a little more hail for a second there near Foster, but now it's heading towards Graysville with a little bit less hail. Still probably some strong winds. I would say probably around 50 there. Let's measure them. Of course, this is in meters per second, so I don't really know exactly, but I believe that's like 40 miles per hour, so 40 miles per hour. So, potentially a storm that's going to head towards Fargo. Potentially a lot of other storms. One near Graceville, Minnesota. One over here near Hillsborough that's also just developed, it seems. A little one. Not that bad. But definitely still trying to become a more substantial updraft. We still have our storms in more east in North Dakota, too. And near Bismarck. Definitely still have those. We do now have a new severe thunderstorm warning in Amidon, North Dakota, heading towards New England and Regent. This is mainly for hail, but there is some wind in it too. 60-mile-per-hour winds. So still watching that storm as it heads towards Mott and eventually Carson. One of the main concerns, however, is near Fargo. So that is continuing to develop. Still lots of storms over here near Moose Lake, too. This one county that's kind of separated from the rest in Hinckley. Still lots of storms there, so that kind of makes sense why that's a disconnected tornado watch party a little bit. My hair looks messy. Just gotta comb it. It's so hard to see on this camera because it's so backwards. Still do have a high wind risk over here in northern Nebraska, near Bloomfield. But it's mostly hail at the moment, so we're mainly watching that as it approaches towards Yankton in South Dakota. There is a little bit of convergence here near Mission Hill, but I'm pretty sure that's not rotation. That looks like inflow. There's like an inflow coming back from here, and maybe it's just plain contamination. Just looking at upper levels by accident. Still have a strong storm now with lime-sized hail. Lime-sized hail approaching towards Fargo. This is 2-inch size hail, so definitely be indoors. Maybe approach your safe spot, but not quite there yet. This could cause damage to some windows, some windshields on your cars, and to pets if you leave them outside for too long. So definitely bring everyone inside. Still waiting on this developing situation. We no longer have a tornado warning in Canada, so let me bring this back down. We now just have 12 severe thunderstorm warnings, which is still quite a bit, but we just don't have an active tornado warning. So currently 12 severe thunderstorm warnings. One of them is considerable, heading into Fargo, North Dakota. but most likely closer to Moorhead, Minnesota. Sorry about that. I mean, these storms still haven't fully developed yet, but we're still watching them. Definitely could develop some more. We still have this very big hailstorm near Horace in North Dakota along the I-29 corridor. It's heading towards Moorhead. Definitely still a very strong storm at the moment. Still approaching those regions. Things like things... What am I saying? Seems like things aren't as intense as we thought they would be, but definitely still up there. I mean, we probably wouldn't have expected a severe thunderstorm warning before, but here we are. Out of these storms, but, you know. Still has supercells. Honestly, guys, I think I'm gonna come back when more stuff happens. I need to go anyways, because I didn't really do this thing that I was supposed to do earlier, but I'm unsure if I'm gonna do it. It's just, I feel like not much is happening anyways. I thought more was gonna happen by this point. I guess I should be aware that there could still be a tornado risk later on. But if there is, I'll come back, and I'll cover it, so don't worry. This is a third live stream today. We'll see. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please just subscribe, turn on notifications. If you don't know what notifications look like, I'm really just having trouble here. If you don't know what the notifications look like, it's the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. Also, make sure to like this video. I don't care if there's, like, ruined on this video. Fine, dislike. But anyways, guys, it's something to note every single time. The Moyes Data on the Road freeway will always be here in your mind. Thank you, guys.